Welcome everybody. Today I am in Voyager Linux 23.10. It's based on the latest Ubuntu 23.10 and comes with all of the patches, updates, and bug fixes from the latest Ubuntu release. I'll put a link to their homepage in the description section of this video. Here it'll give you a brief introduction about the operating system, and if you scroll down a bit, there's a link to download the ISO image. The ISO comes pre-installed with both GNOME and XFCE out of the box. And what you see here is the GNOME desktop environment, and it's at version 45. So it's a little newer than the version that I reviewed in Spiral Linux. This is not a deep dive into GNOME, but I will put a second link to this website here, which will give you some more information about the highlights and new features that come with GNOME 45. Some of the new features include improved aesthetics, improved functionality, and certain things are supposed to be quicker as well. One thing you'll notice here, they replaced the activities button with this little indicator here. So this represents two workspaces, and if I scroll with my mouse key, my middle mouse button, I scroll down, it goes to the next one. I scroll up, it goes to the previous one. So that's interesting. I think that's a nice new touch. Very subtle, but nice. If I click on this, it works the same as before. And if I scroll very fast, it does the same thing. It goes to the desktop switcher or workspace switcher, whatever you want to call it. As for apps installed, I installed HTOP, NeoFetch, and Simple Screen Recorder. We'll go through the apps really quick. This is not an in-depth review. One thing to note, there's two different menu styles. So I believe this is the Arc menu plugin, but it's more similar to the Windows style menu. And then you got this one here, which is the GNOME menu system, and it reminds me more of Android. Yeah, like I said, I'll go through the apps quickly. There's quite a few apps that come pre-installed. One thing that made me question their choice of apps is the browser Firefox is here in the dock, but they also installed LibreWolf. I'm not sure why they did that, because LibreWolf is a fork of Firefox. So they got this map tool here, which is pretty cool. I don't see that often included in distributions. Let's go back to the menu. They have BleachBit, which is a tool to clean your system files. Thunderbird for your email. They have the LibreOffice suite. They have a firewall configuration. So I'm assuming there's a firewall that comes pre-installed. Let's check it out. Since they have it, I might as well turn it on. Let's see what else they have. They have a password manager tool. I believe these are two different music players. They have this one for your video player, which is called Totem. This one is a radio player. Let's check that out quickly. Okay, it's a fairly simple radio player. If I click this, yes, music plays very fast, very quickly. Okay, so this one is a video editing tool. I haven't used this one before, but I'm curious to see how it performs, so I'm going to try that out. As for this, I'm not sure what that is. I'll have to look that up. Some of these apps are new to me and I haven't really delved deeply into them. You have a tool to set up your printers. You have two different software systems. So this, if I search for software, you have both GNOME and Synaptic. So this is an updater. These are two different apps to install packages. Let's see what else they have. They have a bunch of pre-installed smaller games. OS uninstaller. Let's check that out. I haven't seen this before. Okay, it's scanning my system. Hopefully this doesn't take too long. Okay, so let's see what it found. So it pretty much found everything that I installed on my system. This one is Spiral Linux. CachyOS is my rolling release daily driver. This one is my stable release daily driver, which is MX Linux. Spiral Linux I've been testing lately. I haven't deleted it yet. I kind of like it. I might keep it for the long term. And this one I'm testing right now. So it found everything. I'm not sure the wisdom of uninstalling Voyager. Maybe they can delete that in this. But on to the next application. Let's see what else they have. Image writer, a boot repair tool, and let's check out power statistics. Not much info here on my PC. That's all there is for apps. And so now that you've seen what their GNOME desktop looks like, let's see what their XFCE desktop looks like. And I will be right back. Okay, so here we are in the XFCE desktop that is highly customized by the Voyager team. And they got 4 different XFCE panels going on here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I did play around with it a little bit before this video. Some of these icons here were a little confusing to me and I had to figure them out. We'll go to the desktop settings, and one thing I would change is I'm going to get rid of these icons here. I like to keep my desktop as minimal as I can, so I don't like a lot of icons on the desktop, so we'll remove that. Especially when you can put icons here. I'm not sure why people would put icons on the desktop also, but anyways, that's just my preference. One thing I should note is simple screen recorder in the XFCE menu shows up fine and runs fine, but for some reason in the GNOME menu I had to type the command in the terminal. So that's a little glitch that I found there, and it was one of only 3 apps I installed, so I'm not sure if there will be more glitches like that if I continue to install more apps onto this operating system. But anyways, so you can see here they do have the whisker menu. The color scheme is nice. I like this color scheme. What I don't like, and once again, this is my personal preference, I don't like these descriptions here, so I'm going to hit properties. I'm going to uncheck this, so don't show application descriptions. And for me, that makes the menu just a little less busy and more clean. But anyways, you've already seen pretty much the programs pre-installed, so I'll just go over the desktop layout that they got here. One thing they added here, which I find was a nice touch, is this thing here. So it's a shortcut to the drop-down terminal, and this is the XFCE terminal. These things here, let's go through them quickly. They got Wi-Fi on and off, touchpad on and off. This thing here, I was confused about what it did, also this one, but what it does is if you click on it, and if I click on this one, you see they auto-hide themselves after a certain amount of time. And if I go over here, they open again. If I click on here and click on here, they no longer auto-hide. This one is just a web link or a link to a HTML file. So this one, I'm not sure what this is. Safe. We'll go to advanced settings and see what it's about. Okay. Office location. I'm not sure exactly what this is, to be honest, but it looks like kind of like a contact information. But yeah, okay, let's go on to the next one. This is a traffic indicator. So this is Conky, by the way. So it adds this to the Conky. Right now I'm not using anything for the internet, but we'll test it out. Let's go to a web page and see if it did anything. 0 up and 0 down. Okay, that's a little disappointing. I'm not sure why it's not working. That's not very useful for me, so I would just leave that off. Anyways, so we'll go to here. Like I said, this is a shortcut for a calendar, which doesn't seem to be working. This one. So I installed NeoFetch. I'll type NeoFetch here. And you can see it's basically the same thing, but it doesn't have the Ubuntu icon. Now they have an alternate version. They named it Voyager Infos. right? Voyager infos. I'm not sure what the command for it is, but yeah, it's pretty much a clone of NeoFetch. Okay, so we'll go here, and this is a nice added touch, a weather report widget. And here, finally, you have a GUI for different settings. So you can set your Voyager theme, Voyager wallpaper. You can change it to night mode. You can modify the Conky tool with this app. You can set up wine and gaming apps with this. We'll press this quickly. So here, if I say click on this, it will try to install wine for Steam for me. But I'm not going to install it right now. But basically, it's an installer for stuff related to games. Reparation. I'm not sure what they mean by reparation, but this is what you have here for the menu items. I'm not going to pretend I know what all this does, but we'll continue on. Colors and icon panels. And so here, if I say choose orange, you notice this thing here changed to orange. I'm not sure if it changed anything else in the color scheme, but definitely this changed. And I think I'm just going to change it back to the default yellow. There's a bunch of other tabs here, but I don't see... okay. So this is different colors for every associated thing. So let's try this. Red for net. Let's see what it does. Okay, so this changed color. So you can change the colors of these things individually through this little GUI here. Next, system infos. So this is just another shortcut, which basically is the same as click on this thing right here. That's pretty much my quick overview of Voyager Linux. If you like this look and feel, it's like I said, it's Ubuntu with a different skin. And if you want to install it, I'll put a link in the description to their homepage. And also, I will put a link in the description to this thing here, which basically gives you more information of what's new in GNOME 45. So my thoughts on this is it's pretty nice. I like the fresh new look. A fresh new look is always a welcome change for me. Would I use it as a daily driver? Personally, no, but I will take a few ideas from this distro and put it into my regular stable daily driver. So as DT might say, this was a quick and cursory overview of Voyager Linux. And yes, I do watch DT from time to time. But anyways, guys, I hope you have a fantastic day. And until next time, as usual,
take care, everybody.